It took a lot longer than it was planned to. But we got it. We made it. We're there, guys. You asked for it. I produced.
This is by far one of the most challenging,
yeah, one step forward, 20,000 steps back.
build episodes
Yes.
we have ever tackled.
Like everything else that hasn't gone well. This is all currently at full bump. Then we're going to cycle it, check some things, see what some angles do.
Mac has begun the coil conversion for the front of the K-truck,
Dumbags!
and he is determined to get it done.
That is going to go there.
Oh yeah, just 2 brackets, bit of bolt-on shit and we're done.
Brace yourself, guys, as the payoff for this will make it all worthwhile.
Episode 3 of Operation Chevy K-Truck. As you can probably see, coilovers. We're doing the front. So this is a kit I bought, not even kidding, I'm not even exaggerating, 2 years ago. At the time, it took forever. It took absolutely forever to get here. From the States, it's from Off-Road Design, specifically suited to the 67 to 72 Chevy K-Truck. So obviously we're deleting the leaf springs, and the Off-Road Design guys call this 5 brackets to freedom. So you've obviously got the 2 diff brackets, chassis bracket, and the panhard bar brackets. You obviously have all the heims, the bar work, the panhard bars, the steering rod. Then you also have the coilovers, which we're using Pro Fenders from Superior Engineering. Spicy bit of kit that I'm pretty excited for. We've just got some 100-pound coils just for fitment. One other bracket they don't mention, but it is a part of the kit, is the high mount steering. That leads me to my next thing. I originally bought this to suit the Dana 44 that's in it. Since going my recent engine choice, we've realized we needed a lot bigger diffs than that. I got on the hunt, and literally the only Chevy, I wanted Chevy Dana diffs because they got a kingpin, whereas the F trucks have got a ball joint style. Chevy and a Chevy just makes sense. Also the pumpkin drop and all that's all Chevy and all on the right side. And found a set down in Canberra from our good friend Josh Durry from Durry's Custom. Now he does some absolutely immaculate work, and he was selling his Dana 60 and 14 bolt rear. Yukon axles, Yukon brakes, it's got all the whiz bang stuff on it. He's made a custom panhard mount and brace. Unfortunately, I've got to cut all that off. Sorry, mate. I think I paid 12 grand for both diffs, but there's a lot of good parts in it and it's well worth the money. Fortunately, he knew what he had, so he didn't budge 1 penny. I'm excited about that. This whole kit ended up costing me about 10 grand as well by the time it was shipped. It ended up about a 6-month wait just to get it all made, and then it was another probably 4 or 5 months before I got it shipped by boat over here. I missed it. By that point, I was like well stuck into coil swapping Rangers or doing up Land Cruisers. K-Truck just got on the back burner. It's sat around. It was just a little bit dangerous. You guys saw us test drive it and the brake line blew, and it was time to do a full shed life build. So here we are. Without further ado, I'm pretty excited to get into it. Operation Coilovers. This episode, I want the front end done, finished, cycling, welded fully before we do the rear end. First things first, I need to get this thing into a more workable position, maybe get it on some jack stands. It weighs 300 kilos or something silly like that. We have an engine crane, and we have the wheel, and we have a waist. And then I'll talk about this, bit of a high steer situation going on. First things first, before we remove the old diff, we've marked the center on the frame, we've hammer punched it because we're about to weld on our chassis plates to strengthen the chassis up. So that'll go on there, that'll be all nice. Besides that, it's time to chop up this fantastic looking diff that Josh Doe built. Sorry, mate. And Pecky's just here to do nothing. This is the Dana 60. He's done a brilliant job at building this truss system with a 3-link setup at the top. I don't need the 3-link setup, but I do need the clearance here. My sump on the Cummins is obviously really deep and probably gonna have to customize it a little bit as it is. So I need all this height. Plan to chop that off. I'm gonna weld on the Off-Road Design brackets. It's just 2 either side. I also have to chop all this off because it's set up for a right-hand drive, so the panhard mount's on the wrong side. Artec Industries high mount system already on it, which is wicked. That's that. We've got Yukon axles, we've got these big ass brakes. I'm gonna have a look at the ratio. I believe it's a 4:3 or possibly a 4:1. If the American guys are watching this, I'm gonna be running 37. You could let me know what's the best sort of ratio to run with the Cummins engine. Gonna have 8-speed, pretty tall top gear, which is good. But I know these Cummins rev real low, so I think guys talk about having a lot lower ratio to get the higher speeds going, like a 3.9, 3.7. I don't know. Let me know, which one should I use? I'm leaning towards 4.1. plasma cut time. Bloody hell. I feel it in my toes. It's gonna go. No, it's not. Hey! Ew. Ah, very hot. Holy crap. Well, good news, I didn't cut any of the diff. I am starting to sort my hoops out. I know it's probably not the correct order of doing things. However, while I've got all the engine and stuff still in the car and turbos and absolutely everything's in situ, I can set up my hoops, sort of get them as high as I can. I can always make tabs that come back down off them. Being a kit, I'd say this is pretty close to the right length anyway. So I'm trimming down my ends around the chassis where I want them, pretty close to where it's gonna end up. I'm also running them on a bit of a V. No real reason why, I just think it's kind of cool. The coilover is gonna go there and we should be gravy, should be able to fit the 5-inch pipe out there for the intake. Build ourselves a bit of an airbox here. Yeah, it's gonna be some exciting stuff happening this episode. All right, let's see if this thing, sharp. See if it follows me down here. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so good. Hey, TJ, headphone warning. Bringing the Unimig over. Simo's back. We got Simo in the shed with us. You can't hear him because I'm the one wearing the mic. Let's just give this a little tackaroo. Throw our fresh Unimig helmet on. It's very scary for the kids at home. So we textured it into the frame. Probably gonna build some plates around the top, and obviously we got the big side plate coming through. Perfect with the engine here. Then our hoops across are just gonna... We've got the off-road design bracket on, which unfortunately did not fit either. So this Dana 60 is a rarer version. It's actually 100mm skinnier. So it's 1700 from hub to hub. Wheel mount, WMS, wheel mount surface. But this is a good thing because it was running about 100mm wheel poke. Something, if there's US guys watching, they're probably like, so what's wrong with that? In Australia, straight to jail. This is gonna bring the wheel poke in because I do not want to run flares. I love the stock body look. Regardless of that, we've had to chop these brackets back 50mm, which has resulted in our steering not being able to pick up the panhard bar here. What we're gonna do is, they call it hollow tube, and then we'll mill it out to the correct size. It's gonna weld through there. I'm gonna pick up our heim joint for our panhard. So we're basically just moving it up an inch, which will put it higher than the steering arm and give us clearance there. And then on the other side is very similar issue. So we're basically remaking that along with our coilover mount, which will all sit slightly higher than the steering arm. Should be all gravy after that, basically. So this is the chassis plate, the outer chassis plate that I've had laser cut. Just got a little cutout where the old shock mount was, and these are just plug welds, which is basically what you need through the middle to try and strengthen everything up. But that is going to fit absolutely fantastically. We've hit it with some weld through copper spray. We've hit the chassis with this steelet stuff, which is extremely expensive. Apparently you can weld through it. It's $85 a can. So far it looks pretty good. I don't know if you can actually weld through it. We'll find out. But I reckon I'll just grind back the paint anyway, just so I can get a really nice weld. I also wanted to talk about these bad boys. 1 of 4 of the link arms. They call this Dom tube, big in the States. This is a 2-inch link arm. So 50mm, you do a workout with this thing. So we've got the Johnny joints going on the end of these. They're like a rebuildable rubber heim. They're very cool as well. Yeah, there's no seam. It's not like a tube. It's just, apparently it's race truck kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool that we've got that. It's a 7mm wall. Look big, thick and tough under this bad boy, which is everything that we need. So the Americans, you guys, you know how to build stuff strong. Yeah, I'm gonna get stuck into welding this plate on and see how it goes. Thought I'd better protect the arms from a bit of ray burn today. Woohoo! Dumb bags! Nice! Oh, dumb bags! Ah! 1, 2, skip a few. steel it, 85 bucks. No idea if it's any good or not. Seems kind of thin. I've already had it on there before when I've sanded it back, but everything out of a can's usually pretty thin. This diff, when I got it, was painted in it, and it's probably the only thing that hasn't rusted. So as long as it bloody stops rusting, everything rusts. Like, look at this. Been out of the box for like a few days, and this Johnny joint's starting to rust. 316L stainless steel, anti-corrosive, apparently weldable, but I haven't tried that either. Yeah, I don't know, let's get it on. What are we doing today, Kai?
We're painting the bonnet, aren't we?
Yeah.
On the K truck. So I got a design ready and gonna have some fun with it.
So Kai's my tattooist. Oh, he's a mate of mine, but he's also my a tattooist and artist. He does a lot of cool wall art. He did the one in the other shed. But we're gonna get into under bonnet art.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a calling for it.
So let's do the K truck. So here we are. So we're gonna throw that under the K truck.
A little chalk pad, mate. Just marks it all out for me, and then I can just paint it straight over it.
Okay, mate. How you going out here?
See there.
That's sick. Good morning, welcome back to another day in the shed, because I'm about to put this body back on for the 7,000th time. Simo's coming back again today. He's not plumbing today, so I'm pretty stoked to be able to use him wherever I can. Plan today is get the diff under. So it's all painted now, as you guys have seen. The brackets are welded on. Damn, I'm just excited to get this thing under. It's been 2 weeks in the making at least. Yeah, custom doesn't come in a box, as they say. But anyway, we'll get this body back on. Get the old diff out, new diff under there, start getting some brackets welded on, get some link bars tacked up, just get everything tacked in place. As you can see, the weight is off this leaf now. So I'm gonna pull the bolt out, skate this diff, get rid of it, and bring the new one in and under, basically. We're gonna have to work on the ground, because unfortunately where that mount needs to go is right where the leg safely needs to go to lift the whole car up. So you get that on the big jobs.
Ah, shit.
Why the hell are we putting this big ass diff under the K truck when we already have a big ass diff there? So that is a Dana 44 diff. This is a Dana 60. This is a Dana 44 that was originally in the car. You might be thinking, yeah, Dana 44 is pretty strong. A lot of Jeeps have them. They don't really like power, and they don't really like big tires. The Dana 60 here is capable of up to 42-inch tires with no dramas. The sort of only con of the Dana 60 is they're freaking heavy. This thing's like 300 kilos. I will be running limit straps just because you don't want that entire weight hanging off your shop. So we've basically cut half the bracket off and started again. So we've been waiting for a fair bit of steel to come back from the laser cutters. We've folded it up, as you saw the other day. We've pulled the brake and hub assembly off. This is what we got left. That is the top and bottom. Ooh, greasy. It's a strange setup, actually, this Dana 60. It's got kingpin set up at the bottom with the bearing, but the top just has like a wear. I don't know what you'd call it. It's just like, sits on the cone and turns. I guess that just gets pumped full of grease. It's brass, so it's obviously a wear item. You adjust the preload with that. Pushes down on. Kind of interesting setup.
You have your Weebics this morning?
Apparently not. I think because the last plate was heaps thinner, so like it was only 50 mil wide.
That's why I got a longer bar.
Great. We have a 90, maybe just past 90-degree bend. That's cool. We're gonna get some brackets welded in today, and it's very exciting because then we can pull the old diff out and get the front one on. Hey, Simo.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He's pumped. He's pumped. He's been waiting all week for this moment.
Oh yeah. That's
probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Down bags. Down bags. Look at those things. Are you kidding? Man, I'm pretty stoked with how this diff's coming out. Took a lot of thinking, and anyway, she's burnt it now. It's not going anywhere. So come tomorrow, Monday, let's get the old one out, get the new one in. Woo-hoo-hoo! Get the chassis mounts tacked up and arms tacked up, and it's just exciting stuff, really. Have a go at the tomfoolery this bloke's been up to. We've got the King Chrome skates, and we don't even know what these are. We keep using them for all sorts of different things. Bush toilet, ladder, diff moving tool. It's definitely not a motorbike stand. So we had our center lines punched here, so we know where our center line still was. We've also punched where our tubes were. You see there. Just been cleaning up the chassis under here because we are going to look at putting this bad boy on. That is going to hold our lower arms to pick up the diff. What? Oh, welding in short shorts was a bad idea. Okay, so I've been a bit slack on the filming today. Fast forward a little bit. We have got our chassis brackets tacked on, got our tubes cut to the right length, and we've set the caster 6 degrees back. This is all currently at full bump. Then we're gonna cycle it, check some things, see what some angles do, and start looking into panhard bar mounts and steering drag links and tie rods and things like that. We had to put the brakes and stuff back on. That is sort of pretty close to our full bump. It'd probably come maybe another 10 mil higher than that. You're starting to look like a car again.
Yeah. I'm very glad to see the diff under the car.
Yeah, me too, me too. We're gonna see if we can try and get away with a little bit of a diff push. We also have our turbos and stuff back, but I haven't put them on yet, so we'll show you that when we put all that together for the last time. It's all happening. Man of many words. Twist that like that.
Yeah.
That's like that. Does that give us more room for this? This is our Dana 60. This is our Cummins engine, and this is the diff at full bump. We have got our steering pitman arm here. We've got our high steer here, where our steering mounts to our high arm. We've moved it up to on top of the high steer, and this one at full bump, we want lower. So we've got it down, sort of down here somewhere. Full bump, we basically want our mount points to be facing on a diagonal. So we're going to build a panhard bar mount roughly here. And it's actually going to do a bit of an angle like that and head over to there. Where the mounting surface is here and here, we need them to be on the exact same parallel path as our steering drag link. This is to eliminate bump steer. If you can get these two lengths exactly the same, you're even better off. These 2 points are attached to the chassis. We call this ride height. So now our panhard bar, we want it to be mounting point to mounting point at ride height. We want them dead straight. Sorry, I've drawn it a little funky. As your car travels away from your diff, so when it comes up or down, this arc swings. So if you drew a straight line here, and that's now your arc, it's pulling the diff sideways. So from there to there, it's gonna move this way and that way. Same as when it comes up to full bump, it's gonna move it that way. At ride height, you want this as straight as possible. There isn't a lot of sideways movement when you're just hitting bumps. So it keeps everything straight, doesn't get your steering wheel every time you hit a bump going bloody whack. Don't know if that made a lot of sense for a lot of guys, but hopefully it helps someone out. But the basic things, the bar can do this, doesn't matter, it'll just be weak. The mounting points just need to be level at ride height. You also need to be setting your caster angle at 6 degrees, and your control arms also come into things. That's a different sort of arc. That's a front to back arc, not a left to right. Our Cummins hangs real low here in the center. The sump is actually really shallow. It's just that it's a super tall engine, and we're trying to make bars work around it. This kit was designed for a car with a big block or a small block Chevy in it. The sump sits way up high under the chassis up here. It doesn't hang below it. We'll get there, we're making it work, and we finally got a good game plan going. So very exciting day. We've got all our stuff back from Cerakote, all the intercooler piping and stuff back from Brendan at Fat Coatings. You're a bloody legend, mate. This is actually a stainless steel exhaust manifold, extremely heavy. Start by putting that bad boy on. Full instruction how to do the bolts up what direction to do them up in, what torque rating, which is 32 foot-pound of torque. Thinking like, why the hell are we bolting all this on now when we're trying to do the coilovers? We want to make sure our coilover towers and coilovers isn't going to foul on any of our turbo and any of our piping. Got to put it on to work around it, but we're just going to dummy up the turbos. We're not going to fully assemble them just yet. Same with the cooler piping, and then it's all going to come back off. The engine's going to come back out. We're going to paint the whole chassis, and it's a lot of forward and back, a lot of doing things and undoing things. Yeah, 1 step forward, 20,000 steps back. We're getting there, and I'm doing my best to get it done as fast as possible. The finished bimmer welds here, there, a little bit of sanding. Oh, nice, look at them dime bags in there. Right, look at that one. Today's been a good day. We've got all the control arms and steering arms and stuff all tacked in. I'm just happy, everything's looking really good. We've been fighting this thing for 2 weeks now. It's me and Sim Doggy over here. He's buggered, I'm buggered. Had a break, went to the full drive show, got to meet all you guys. It's bloody ripper to meet you guys too. Thanks everybody for coming out and saying good day and checking out the cars. Sorry this wasn't here, we were busy racking our brains. Lift the hoist up so we can get full articulation. We haven't done the hoops or coilovers yet. We just want to check clearances on control arms and sumps and everything like that. We're not getting under the car, so it's not a huge issue, but just for safety purposes, we're going to weld these bits of steel together that are on the stands. We also have 2 more stands under there, but we're not getting under the car. We're staying outside from the car and just cycling the suspension, but it's the only way to get it high enough to be able to get enough droop. We also welded it to the chassis. It runs pretty close, but we might change that yet, bring it back a little bit. Everything's looking pretty good. Panhard's looking good. Sump clearance is good. Yeah, it's happy. Welcome back to another day in the shed. As you can see, yesterday we had a pretty good day. I can actually start structuring the video a bit better now because, look, there was a good 2 or 3 weeks there where I was touch and go on whether I was actually going to be able to figure this puzzle piece out. We made it happen. Simo's been a great help. We've been bouncing ideas off each other, and Josh Dari, he even happened to be in Queensland and he popped in and I didn't want to throw a camera in his face. Just gave me the confidence and told me I'm on the right track and everything I was doing was right. So gave me some good info. And Ben Creamer's Coil MN, he come up with steering box idea just to change the height a bit, which gave us good geometries. We have a dead flat mounting point to mounting point panhard bar and drag link. So that's gonna give us great on-road steering. We got 6 degrees caster, so that brings the wheel straight again when you turn and then you can let go and the wheels sort of straighten up again. Gives you that, which is awesome for on the road. Yeah, so we shouldn't have bump steer and we shouldn't have any wandering going on at ride height. So that should be good. That is ride height, which is very similar to what it was, which is at a 4-inch lift, but it's gonna be very, very cool. I might bring it down 1 inch from that yet. It does look fairly tall. Let's flex it up, I guess. Let's get it at full bump, see what it looks like. At least sort of 10 degrees angle. When it flexes, you don't want your coilover inverting like that. It also needs to angle back as well towards the center of the car. I'm gonna go and bend that up. I'm gonna make it longer and cut it down to suit. I'm getting better at this tube bending stuff, but now I've set it. 4 chances to get this right. Wow, kind of 2. I'll stuff the first ones. I've got 1 more go left and then I'm out of tube. Part about the cardboard template, I can sort of get the angles of things. I've just done this little test piece. That angle's pretty good to what I want. There we go, nice. I'll just set to 0. All right, let's see how this goes. Ended up a little bit short over here, but all in all, angles are looking pretty bloody good. As you can see, I've got one of these hoops sort of tacked up here. I'm a little worried about height. I've gone ahead and I've put the front end back on, got the rad support. The cool part about these trucks is the inner guards bolt in, the guards bolt on, the rad support bolts on. Whole front end just bolts together. To be honest, even the tub bolts into 5 different pieces. But as you can see, that hoop is rather high, but the bonnet does come out pretty flat and drop down. Fingers crossed that fits, otherwise I'm gonna have to bring it down, which is okay. It just means I'll put the coilover in front of it, which I'm actually not against. This turbo has been quite the issue, very much in the way. And it's looking like I'm gonna have to remake the diff mount, bring it out as far as I can, try and get the coilover a bit further out. Now that's on, we're gonna take it back off. Dad strength, let's go. Oh, jeez, I might have done his shoulder getting it on there. Across the rad support, pivot off the head, and okay. But at full droop, because the diff walks back, that's just inevitable. And I'm talking full jump scenario, like both wheels at full extension. The coilover moves back, is gonna rub on the turbo. So I need to move the whole coilover out from the turbo and or forward. Well, on the plus side, it misses the intake. Pretty sure it's right where my coilover wants to go. Bit of a whoopsie. Whoopsie. Yeah, less than ideal. We might have to change something here. The hoop that we bent to clear the steering actually fits perfect with the brake booster where it is. Now the situation is, I'm not too worried about the ports here. We can blank this side off, run them out the other side to the brake bias. But the next issue I'm gonna have is the engine crossmember bridge. Yes, like everything else that hasn't gone well.
So how many times have you made these coilover towers, mate? They look like they're how quick and easy to get together.
Walk this way, I'll show you. Edition 1, edition 2, 3, 4. And this, I really thought this was it. Now I could remake the intercooler pipe, however, it's already powder coated.
Oh, it's like 1 step forward, 6 steps backward sort of build.
Custom doesn't come in a box.
Why, this didn't come from the middle old Audi?
No. You guys all remember Morgs. Woohoo! Hello. So Morgs is a good man of mine. As you guys know, whenever I need some major tigging going on, he's always, he just works around the corner, so it's quite handy. We're gonna weld the dom tube weld-in bung ends in. It's gonna require a root pass.
Yep, root pass and then a cap.
And then a cap.
Yep. So hopefully it should be able to, structural stuff like this, you always got to do a root run, which is your first pass. And then, because obviously you can't weld it all up, otherwise it'll pull. And then you'll do a secondary pass to cap it and then make it one full piece of material.
Yep. So basically, being an extreme structural part of the car, I really want the professionals to do it. Plus I'm learning, so.
Well, if you run into trouble, I'll jump in. It's all good. What's so funny?
Nothing at all, yeah, sorry. On, like, and then off. Yeah, you can fuse or you can put a bit of wire in there, so just on those flat sections. Yep.
Okay, I'm finally happy with my tubes. We got Mitch here, good old Kaizen Fab. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm living the dream, working on cars and etc.
Oh, hang on. There he is. He's come up to give me a hand with some things I was sort of not too sure about. I'm taking any help I can get at the moment so I can get you guys the content quicker.
He's brought in the D team today.
The D team. Come on, mate.
We're into the reserves.
You're at least a C. Come
At
on.
least a C.
At
Yeah.
least a C,
This is
yeah.
Div 12 Resi spec.
I know that side doesn't need a kink. However, I put it in just so that it's the same as this side because we're now clearing all of our brakes. We're clearing our steering. We clear the intake. We clear the intercooler pipe, alternator, clear the turbos. Now Mitch is working on moving this coilover mount out so that we can get our angle correct on our coilovers and not hit the turbo. I'm going to burn these in.
Mac's always happy and that makes me happy.
It is close to things, but It's never gonna hit. That's gonna be wound down. Getting my turbo clearance. Nice. Tack, 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 tack. I forgot to mention, before you guys just go weld into your chassis like I've done, make sure you check with an engineer first. A lot of these old chassis used to be actually made of spring steel and all sorts of weird hardening processes. If you just go welding to, say, like an old F100, I've been informed by Ross, thanks mate, spring steel, apparently, don't quote me on what years they are, but the early F100s. GM, luckily, they're just mild steel, they're happy, you can weld to them all day. The Americans weld to them all day. That's probably why they have a kit. That's why I like to stick to kits. Someone's done the engineering, someone's done the research. It just makes life a lot easier. If you're gonna do some crazy custom work like this, just make sure you check with your engineer first and he'll let you know exactly what you can and can't do, which is why I'm here. I'm working with a couple at the moment. This thing's pre-ADRs, so it doesn't have to adhere to a lot of rules, but as long as I'm making it better and making it safer and not deleting any factory things it already had, pretty well good to go. But anyway, they're gonna come check it over during the build and make sure it's all gravy, and it's getting there. Coilovers are tacked in. I'm gonna start cycling things. Yeah, start cycling up and down. It's getting exciting. Woo! I've set the diff to chassis at ride height. Set the diff at ride height. I've also centered the diff left to right using the panhard bar. And then I've gone and set all of my angles. I've already checked and cycled this side because opposite driver's side is always gonna be the one that pulls over the most. So if you have a right-hand drive, it's gonna be that side. Because as you go up, the panhard arc comes down, and which is mounted here, and it pulls the diff that way. Luckily, I've got such a long panhard bar that it only moves the diff over about 20, 30 mil throughout its travel. This angle here, 5.7 at ride height, will quickly turn into about 2 or 3 degrees, as does leaning back. We're about 4.5 degrees. But as I mentioned on the board, with the arc of the arms, this turns into 1.5 degrees pretty quickly. So you'll see all this when I start cycling it. 5.6 degrees, 5.7. Coilovers are tacked in, so now I'm going to go ahead and start cycling everything. So lots of jacking up and down. Make sure everything clears and everything's happy. Check for bump steer and all the good stuff. Bump stops. So this is overkill. Pro Fender 2.5 inch, so that's the diameter. Hydraulic bump stop. They call them a hydro bumps. This is the can for it, bolts through the top, also clamps there. Now it's time to get my cardboard aided design out. CAD, my CAD system, and build some brackets. I want to tell you guys about this year's giveaway. A brand new, like new, but good shape 79 series Land Cruiser. Gonna be doing a full shed life build on it. We're talking pre-rego mods, KMCs, all the good stuff. There's new ways to win it. So I'm also gonna be doing monthly prize draws, and we're starting Shed Life Club. Yeah, I've been working on it for the last 6, 7, 8 months. We've been going ham at building this website for you guys. This is one of the big things I'm releasing this year. The other workwear is still in development. So jump on over to www.shedlifeclub.com. Check out what we got going on. Join the club, be a member, win heaps of cool stuff. Get free merch on a monthly basis included in your membership. We've got a discount booklet from heaps of guys in the industry. All your favorite influencers are even on there. We got Tyler, Fire to Fork, Uncle Pooley's on there, I think. And as you guys know, we've given away a brand new Ford Ranger, a coil swapped N80 Flexi Boy, a Maverick Camper, a $10,000 toolbox. And for the monthly members, the first month's prize is another $10,000 King Chrome toolbox, fully kitted out. Definitely worth being a member for that one. The following month, we've got a full Outback Tourer set up, but that's only for members. If you still want to enter the big Matrix draw, you still can. When the website opens back up, any shirt will be an entry. And if you're already a member, you're getting accruing entries. So every month they're adding up. One of the best ways you guys can support the channel, so we can just bring you better and better and better and bigger content.
Holy heck.
Check it out.
This this the one that makes your penis 3 times smaller?
It makes it 4 times smaller, actually. No, you're probably right, triple, 3 times smaller. But the coilover makes it 4 times smaller. That is going to go there.
You're bloody joking.
Nah, I'm actually not. Like, I secretly wanted them. But I'm like, all right, let's ask the world what they think. Should I put triples in the front and the rear? It was a whitewash. It was 95% said you're an idiot if you don't. Boy math is, I jumped on superiorengineering.com.au and I looked them up and I went, right, they're like 920 bucks each. But with my discount code, 10% off, TJ and Mac. Does it got to be capitals? I don't know. You find out when you... Yeah, I got 10% off. So I was like, well...
No, you're making money.
You've
somehow made money.
I've just made money. You see, if I hit a jump, and because of the triple bypass flow of the oil through the shock, it no longer will bottom out hard, especially with the 2.5 hydro bump stop. My engine isn't going to go through the bonnet because I've hit a bump so hard. So I've just saved $19,000. Plus, imagine if the turbo blew when you blew the engine out the bonnet, that's another 10 grand worth of money right there. Has just made me $30,000. Besides the boy maths of why I just made $30,000. And it allows fluid to bypass through these triple tubes at different flow rates. Because what I've also learned is I no longer need this to have like a dense shock absorption, because this is going to do most of the work.
Well, that would make sense.
So this is going to be like your light stage of compression.
Yeah, so you've got 3 different shocks for 3 different speeds and weights of up and down.
Yeah, that's pretty much how
Could
it
have
works.
just said that.
Oh.
What's that, mate? You've been doing a bit of CAD designing?
It's actually, I don't know if many people understand what CAD stands for, but it's actually cardboard aided design.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really high tech stuff. Not many understand. It's really hard to learn. In case this wasn't already a very steep learning curve, I now have an even steeper learning curve to learn about shocks and valving. Once the car's complete, I'm going to take all of these down to Superior. We're going to valve them because this one now needs to be devalved because it doesn't need to do as much work as a single one is supposed to, because it's got this to do a lot of the work now. Custom does not come in a box. And the parts that do come in a box create more custom work for you to do.
This is one of them days where nothing went right for the boys. They've spent over a whole day trying to fabricate these hydro bump stops. Macca even made the mistake of burning them in and then cycling the suspension and realizing they will not work. So,
Oh my God.
boys didn't even finish filming this. However, I can say
pass done.
the current mount is different and does work.
And now I'm going to go and get stuck into the engine cross members. I know where all my coilover tabs are going now, and these are actually cage joiners. So you weld the tube into each end and it actually unbolts like a puzzle piece. That's going to be how the cage is fully removable, because if it's not removable, you'll never get your engine out. 10 steps forward, 5 steps back. So this engine cross member here, second one, I also stuffed up. I'm gonna remake this again, so the number 3. Then I'm gonna make another corner piece that runs around here. The reason I had to get this a bit lower was it's just off the bonnet supports. So I'm gonna go slightly more angle, which will bring it down slightly. Oh, he's good. Ladies and gentlemen, give this bloke a medal. I mean, I was about to say I love when a good plan comes together, but this is literally the 3rd bar I've made. So finished tigging it on the bench and hope like hell it doesn't warp. I'm pretty proud of my efforts there. I've just tacked one side in, that's roughly where it's got to go. All right, I was up to 11 last night, TIG welding all this gear up. After boys' night, it's always good to catch up with the boys every week. Just got to make this bar from here to here now, and I'm actually going to make it behind the turbo and plate. The reason for these bends is obviously so I can still access the brake booster. Like, how far ahead of YouTube do we film? Well, today's Good Friday. My good friend Simo's here for a couple of hours to lend a hand, just to really get this episode over the line. You guys are going to be watching this next Wednesday. I've got the final piece of the engine cage to weld in, which is very exciting. Simo's been piecing the truck back together. We're going to flex this bad boy up and see what it looks like before we start burning everything in. Sim Doggy is going to make a cool little plate to go through the middle here, throw some dimple dies in. Should look pretty bloody special, and make sure it all can come out in one piece. That'll make me a very happy boy if it does. So then I'm going to put it back in, bolt it back in, then weld most of these hoops on. If I weld it while it's on and then let it cool and then pull it back off again, I'll know it's fully removable and I'll be very happy. Woohoo! It came out. Yeah. I don't have to go back in yet, but we'll figure it out. Now the engine cage is very important, guys. It's a lot of forces run through, obviously the top of the triple bypass, but also mostly the coilover. It's holding the entire weight of the car and this engine. The stronger we can make our hoops, the safer we'll be. Okay, so what are you making all morning, mate?
Oh, a little plate for our cross brace. Finish it off nicely. Yeah, almost like something I know what we're doing.
Yeah, we definitely don't. That's why we've done everything 7 times.
Yeah. At least this one gets to stay on the car now.
No, we're going to see how it flexes with leaf springs in the rear.
Pretty exciting. We're all kind of like, just in, yeah. Tackaroo in there.
There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff tacked and a lot of stuff welded, but
Tremendous amount of work to even get to this point. So we've got the tough terrain soft shackles 10.
well, the jack's on the 1 ton section, so if the jack gives out, then it should give out before that, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
everybody stay clear. Zali is not even on the property. We're a little scared to go much further than this. But
It hasn't even come off the bump stop.
it's still got heaps of up travel, well, down travel over there.
It's working.
Like, I'm tempted to just keep jacking it, but really, this will probably get to like a wheelie bin, so we're not even really all the way there yet. We'll try another angle. We'll bump this side out, lift this side up. Yeah. Dude, look at this. Look at it. It's insane. That's 37, like well below seal. Like the bonnet's going to be up here. Like we had it jacked up before, and this wasn't even extended. And like
I suppose technically,
I reckon it's
with
gonna do a wheel.
articulation, the diff can still do that, which will pull this.
Yeah, the diff's still dead flat. Like crazy.
All right, guys. Simo had to cruise. He has his 2nd job to go to, or his 5th job, probably.
7th. Yeah, he's got a lot of jobs on, Simo. This is my goal of where I wanted to get to for this episode. It took a lot longer than it was planned to, but we made it. Huge thanks to Simo, who's been helping me along the way. So when he can, in between plumbing and beer pouring and...
As you would have just seen, is the triples are not in.
No, so that's going to be...
Next episode.
Yeah, so...
It's just, there's a bit on.
So now we know everything works. I'm going to look at getting this whole front end buttoned up. So finished panhard bar, front end finished, inner guards back in, triple bypass coilovers in, engine, chassis painted, you know, you name it. We're going to try and finish it off. Who knows, even maybe get it driving next episode. Possibly. I'm not making any promises because this car just loves to throw curveballs at me. There will be an update.
Eventually, coilovers at the rear.
Yes.
Then we'll be starting to get close to using it. It's already looking like this isn't even sort of full articulation yet. So
Nah.
it's just mental, man.
Nah.
It's like someone put heaps of turbos in the way.
Oh, that was half my problem.
You seem a bit bloody worn out, mate.
I need a holiday. This one definitely took it out of me, that's for sure.
Oh, I better get it back in and keep going, mate.
Yeah, I'll just kick her in the guts and drive her in, eh? Oh. I can't even shut this. Left hand down, you said?
Yeah, left hand down.
Down. Right. Not enough?
Nah, bit of right. Bit of
Oh,
right.
right. Oh, we're good. Yeah.
You happy with this situation? Full bump. We've got a bit of a trimming situation here, probably.
Yeah, it's looking like we're gonna have to trim a lot of the front out of that. That's a shame. But
Back doing.
the back shouldn't be too bad because I put a little bit of a diff push on. Yeah, shouldn't have to be too bad out of the back, I don't think. Really wanted to keep this part of the guard.
Yeah,
I
and I mean, 37's big, but it still fits that guard well.
Yeah, sort of just fits it. The shorter, skinnier diff that I think I talked about in this episode has helped me immensely. It's got less wheel poke, which means when it articulates, it actually can tuck. I don't have to eat the guards. That's a big win, actually. I'm pretty stoked on that. I was a little sad at first. That's straight bump. So straight bump's always going to be higher than articulated bump.
Yeah. Oh, back in the shed.
Yeah.
Get back to work, mate.
Back to work. It's not driving yet. We got to get it going.
What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. Just say the word, baby, I'ma get you right. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like. What you wanna do? Tell me what you like.